1 million people have achieved this 850 FICO credit score. So what are the 4 common denominators that people who have perfect credit all share in common? That's coming up on today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to the VIP Financial Ed channel. My name is Matthew Pillmore. Today we're talking about perfect credit. And whenever we're talking about credit, we're referencing the most popular of credit scoring algorithms, that created by Fair Isaac, known as the FICO credit score. Now, according to Fair Isaac themselves, over 90% of the most popular financial institutions around the country rely on their algorithm to determine eligibility for products. And according to Fair Isaac themselves as well, 1 million people have achieved this 850 FICO credit score. The range is between 300 all the way up to an 850. With a 300, you probably shouldn't even step foot into a bank. With an 850, you can get almost anything you want in life. Now, I want to reassure everybody here that if you never achieve an 850, that's completely okay. The target credit score that you should be looking at achieving before anything else is a 760 and above. Now, let's talk about 850s and what it takes for those who have them to actually get there. The very first thing that 850 FICO credit score holders have in common is that of a long credit history. That means at least 15 years and up as an average. For those of you who are in your 20s, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but it's going to be a challenge for you to actually get to that 850. But again, you can easily achieve 760 and above. Secondly, is you cannot avoid credit. Avoiding credit actually is counterproductive to your ability to gain credit worthiness. They have to be able to see that you've managed to borrow and repay. In fact, most 850 FICO credit score holders have many accounts. So not only do you want to be active within your credit, but you actually want to be continuing to add as many accounts to your credit as makes sense for your objectives. The timing with those accounts is discussed in our other video talking about how frequently you should apply for your credit. However, just know that most 850 credit account holders do have dozens of accounts, including in many cases 10 or even tens of credit card accounts that they're using actively. That then leads me to the third common denominator, which is making sure that you're paying all these accounts on time. So not only is it important to have and use accounts, but you've got to have a perfect payment history. If you don't have a perfect payment history, it's impossible to have a perfect credit score. But again, the good news is that even less than perfect repayment histories, they're forgotten over time. That's the beauty of credit, is that everything is temporary. So even if you have struggled with paying on time every time in the past, after 7 years, those late payments will drop off of your credit, and even bankruptcies will fall off of your credit after 10 years. So you do have the ability to gain perfect credit scores even if you haven't had perfect credit before. And finally, you have to make sure that you utilize very little of what's available to you. Your low debt to available ratios is critical to making sure that your credit is strong, because it's valued at 30% of your credit score, which is just 5% less than paying your bills on time, which is worth 35% of your credit scores. So if you have high utilization rates compared to your limits, it's almost as bad as missing payments. Very important to keep those balances low, but you should also know that you don't have to pay those balances to zero to actually gain an 850 FICO credit score. In fact, you can have a small number, small percentage, somewhere between 1 and as high as a maximum of 10% utilization and still achieve an 850, but it becomes a little more difficult. So to give yourself the best chances possible, keep those balances paid in full each and every month. Pay before the statement closing deadline so that the lowest balance possible is what's reporting to your credit report versus that higher balance that you're using, which you may pay off to zero each and every month. However, because of the way that the reporting works, it may actually end up reporting even though it's paid to zero. So in order to counteract that pay before your statement closing deadline, to reduce those debt to available ratios, put all 4 of those ingredients together and you're well on your way to being one of those 1,850 FICO credit scores. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, make it a great day today and take care. Alrighty, so I realize that some of you have not gotten one of the single most popular budgeting tools available, not to mention it's free, and that is called the Cash Flow Cruncher. So what I want to do today is walk you through the process of downloading your very own copy. It comes in the form of an Excel spreadsheet, so it's very easy to use. And it's quick to navigate. So let's go ahead and walk through that process together. The first thing you'll do is in the search menu, you'll go to cashflowcruncher.com, which will take you to the download page. Simply type your email address into the field to claim your free copy and go ahead and select the red button. Immediately it'll pull up the download button, which will open a new Cash Flow Cruncher spreadsheet. Now you can see I've already got a copy open and enlarged here for you to see. The first page it'll open is the Cash Flow Summary tab, which is a non-editable page. It's very important to understand that this opening tab will not require you to put any information into these fields. This actually imports the data from the other tabs below. Now, if you've ever used an Excel spreadsheet, you'll navigate the spreadsheet by going to individual pages down here. And it'll start with the Revenue and Assets page. On this page, you'll want to itemize each individual income that you bring into the household or the business. Now, it's always been my recommendation that you create an individual cash flow cruncher for your businesses, an individual cash flow cruncher for your real estate, and an individual cash flow cruncher for your household.